The soldier had just regained consciousness when he made a horrifying discovery: he was trapped inside a smooth-walled room. Nick distinctly remembered collapsing on the battlefield, and the gunshot wound on his waist proved his memory wasn't failing. A chilling realization struck him: he might have been captured by enemy forces. Yet strangely, none of his gear had been confiscated. He immediately drew his pistol, scanning the room for threats, but after minutes of tense observation, nothing happened. Pressing his ear against the wall, he listened carefully. Before he could process the situation, the temperature inside the room began rising rapidly. Overwhelmed by the heat, he stripped off his clothes without thinking, but even naked, the scorching intensity only worsened. When blistering waves of heat assaulted his skin, he finally recognized the danger. By then, it was too late. The room had transformed into a pressure cooker. Sweat droplets hit the floor and instantly vaporized. Nearing dehydration, Nick knew he couldn't wait for death. He grabbed his pistol and fired wildly at the walls, a futile effort. Within moments, the heat overwhelmed him, and he blacked out again. Time blurred. When Nick awoke, the temperature had normalized. He gulped water from his canteen only for a metal chain to suddenly lasso his neck. Then, his fallen pistol levitated midair. An invisible force yanked his arms outward, stretching his body as if preparing to tear him apart. Just as the agony became unbearable, the force vanished, dropping him unconscious once more. His next awakening brought him back to where he'd originally collapsed, as if everything had been a nightmare. But his physical state confirmed it was real. As he staggered to leave, an advanced fighter jet unlike any he'd ever seen streaked across the sky. Over the ridge, soldiers with superior gear stood frozen, all staring at the violent aerial battle above. Nick's breath caught. The technology was decades beyond his era. A single thought consumed him: had he somehow traveled through time?